First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me. The Club of People's Unity is a platform that allows us to talk to each other. When we talk, we not only listen, but also hear. This is very important. I would like to express my gratitude to my friend Scott Ritter. I would like to say one thing. Before the beginning of the SVO, we have seen the deterioration of relations between our states for a long time. The deterioration of relations has been going according to the schedule. We have seen what the internet resources say about us, what the people abroad say about us. It turns out that we cannot hear the ordinary citizens of the United States because the leaders of different levels of this state speak to us. When you hear their rhetoric, you think that they are all enemies of humanity, Russia, and all of us. There is an opinion that people who never want to hear what is really going on here, as I said yesterday, are ordinary people who want to come to work, get a stable salary, meet their morning in their bed, and not run around. They want to realize that tomorrow will also be a peaceful day. These are the same ordinary people as in the rest of the world who just want to live a normal, peaceful, calm life. But when we start to speak the language of war, we must understand what war is. War is also a continuation of diplomacy. But when our diplomacy runs out of words, and, to be more precise, when our diplomacy simply does not want to be heard, America and Europe close their ears, agree that there is truth for them, and say that everything they say is not true for us. And the broadcast goes like this. You can give an elementary example. Here is a headphone. You say one thing here, and to the population of Europe and America, the translation goes into this absolutely inadequate headphone. It is not about what the Russian state wants, it is not about what the Russian people want. So it turns out that if there are no such people as our friend Scott, if there are no such people as him, who not only want to listen to us, but also want to hear us, we also come to a state when we think that America and Europe are the enemies of Russia. If we talk about the state that is carrying out today this predatory, globalist policy, yes, it turns out so. But if we talk about the people, it turns out that the American people, if you look into their depth, want to live a calm life. They do not want a war. And of course, they hope that the leadership of America is sane, that it will not start a war which tomorrow can lead them to the same deplorable results. This is the result. The platform that is provided to us today, and the fact that Scott came to us, I think this is a very big plus. Why? Because Scott has a huge, as they say, his own electorate, which hears him, which wants to listen to him. But the most important thing is that the Americans, those who listen to him, they know that Scott is primarily a patriot of America. Imagine I am a patriot of Russia. For me, imagine that there is not a single state that would be more important to me than Russia. Russia is primarily for me. For Scott, this is his homeland, America. For him, America is primarily. He is a patriot of his country. But being patriots of our states, we can say that we are worthy people only if we, by our actions, wish good to our state and the population of the country. That is, the people from whom we came. So it turns out that in order to do the good that is in our hands, that is, to convey to the masses that we are really not enemies of each other, that we need to look for peaceful ways of coexistence on this planet Earth, that we cannot afford to start this war, which can turn into a nuclear stage when we cease to exist. To think that if this war breaks out, that for some of us it will be good, that it is stupid. But what is the basis of everything? The basis is that we, just like the Americans, want to live a peaceful life. We want to be left alone. We want them not to come to us under the fence with nuclear warheads and not to install them under our fence so that tomorrow they attack us, God forbid, when we weaken a little. So it turns out that Scott Ritter is a patriot of America. Apti Alaudinov is a patriot of Russia. Here are our colleagues who are also patriots of Russia. But we all say the same thing. We say that we want peace. And if you look at the history of both America and humanity, we must say to ourselves, yes, in America, presidents change every 4 years. Presidents leave and come, but the people remain. They have nowhere to go. And in order to make our communication possible, so that we not only listen, but also hear each other, we must talk to each other, not in the language of weapons, but in the language of our friendship and communication. When we meet, drink tea together, discuss those moments that we can solve without weapons, without war. I think this is very important. Therefore, Scott, thank you very much for the fact that you really remain a person who wants to do everything in his power and power in order to help, first of all, his country. When I say this, when you help the people of your country, you help all normal people who we have on this earth in the same way. This is very important. Therefore, thank you all for the fact that you really gathered here in order to discuss just such an agenda. Well, God willing, our efforts will also be in this piggy bank of our common victory over those people who want to start more and more wars, another coin, and this meeting too. Moreover, we are on the threshold of meeting 2 presidents of America and Russia. I said this yesterday, and I will repeat it now. If Trump is able to solve the issue in such a way that we will stop this war in such mutually beneficial conditions, respecting the interests of both Russia and America, we will thank him. As for our Supreme Commander-in-Chief, even for those who listen to us, I would say this. We always like to discuss, there are always supporters and opponents of any situation. Well, I trust the Supreme Commander-in-Chief. I know that he will never do anything that would be harmful to the Russian Federation, to our people. Therefore, our trust in him should be limitless, so that he, as the head of our state, who wants to do everything for Russia to live a peaceful life, has the opportunity to make the decisions that he considers necessary. Thank you.